This week on Movie Time Machine, Jeff, the Dude Lebowski, mistaken for a millionaire of the same name, seeks restitution for his ruined rug and enlists his bowling buddies to help get it back. This is the Big Lebowski.
Welcome to Movie Time Machine, your retro movie review podcast where we take movies from the past and we live them in the present. This week's movie, The Big Lebowski, released in the year 1998, directed by the Coen brothers. Hi, I'm your Time Machine host, Chad, and joining me this week, he loves his Pokemon Go. Jamie, what's up?
Hey, not as much as one of our other hosts.
And he loves everything this host hates, Chris.
Heyo, guys.
And no matter how flat you make a pancake, it still has two sides, James.
Hey, guys, what's up?
And finally, he shreds. He digs universal healthcare, and he leaves us asking the question, is he the radical left? Casey.
Fake news. Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Never happened.
Illegal ballots.
Stop the votes. Count all the votes.
Yeah, so why don't we go around and just everyone share what we've been doing lately since the last episode. Jamie, what's going on?
Hey, so yeah, I think I probably drank, this is, as we're recording, the week of the election, so I think I drank the most I have ever drank on a school night since probably college. That was Tuesday. And other than that, I've just been trying to not watch political coverage because, yeah, counting mail-in ballots is exhausting. Is anyone else watching Hannibal? I feel like Chris or James has watched that.
I took a break from it, but I got into about the middle of season 3, but I did take a break.
Okay.
I have not seen it.
You haven't, Chris? Did Bates Motel,
No.
is that the one you saw?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That was also me, too. Yeah, I love Bates Motel.
Okay. I got your Norman Bates and my Hannibal Lecter. So, yeah, I could see why you might have paused, James. It's really good, but man, after a while, you just kind of need some lighter content.
That's exactly why I took a break. So,
yeah, but that's me.
All right, cool. Hey, Chris, what have you been up to?
yeah, so I've been playing a ton of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's been probably the biggest thing.
Is that the one that's like the ancients, like Greek?
Yeah, it
Is
is.
that it? Oh, awesome.
It is. It came back. Like, it was like a 2018 thing. I got a really good deal on it, so I'm just playing it through. I'm also really looking forward to Valhalla, which is coming out in just a couple of days. I think November 10th. So I wanted to play this one before I played that. Beyond that, also been watching a lot of the coverage from the election, and then I watched. It's really quick. It's maybe 6 or 7 episodes, but something called Inside Jokes. It's a documentary on Amazon Prime, and basically it follows, I think, like 7 or 8 comedians who are really kind of early in their career, and they're trying to make it into this really big comedy festival called Just for Laughs, which that happens in Montreal every year. And so basically it begins with them getting a callback for their audition, and then doing their callback set, and then getting to actually getting to Montreal and doing their set there. But it follows, I think it's like 4 comedians in New York and 4 comedians in LA, but I really enjoyed that. That was super fun.
All right, cool. And James, what have you been up to?
I went through and devoured The Boys season 2. I don't regret waiting until it was all available to me on Amazon rather than watching it week to week. Which I know, to Chad, your dismay, you wanted me to start Mandalorian season 2, but I think I want to wait until there's a couple episodes available to me, not just the one. So took full advantage of that on the day after the election, and I went to sleep like at 7 o'clock because I had nothing better going on rather than watching the Mandalorian. So it's pretty sweet, but yeah, that's kind of it. Pretty boring. Boys season 2, I enjoyed. I'm excited to see where season 3 goes.
Right on. And Radical Left Casey, what have you been up to?
Oh man, this is gonna sound kind of weird. It's gonna sound kind of like I'm dipping my toes too far into millennialism, but I'm I think the new, like, I don't watch TV, but I've been kind of watching a little bit more of people on Twitch, like live streamers, like watching them live. And that's going to segue into what I've been watching. I have two things that I've watched recently, or two recommendations, I suppose. Another YouTube channel that I just stumbled upon called Philosophy Tube. Just kind of takes, different topics and does like 30-minute kind of videos on them, but he did one on Steve Bannon, which was like crazy fascinating to me, of just how people can use these really weird ways to inject like racism and awful views into political things and get them more mainstream and like get more people into it. It was just, out of the way that he told that, like talked on that topic, was fantastic. And then speaking of live streaming, and talking about the election coverage, I haven't watched anything like on live TV. What I've been watching instead mostly has been a Twitch streamer named Hassan Piker. He's like a political commentator, but he essentially like live streams watching all this stuff and kind of talking through it, and then obviously like having discussions with other people he brings on and things like that too. But so that's been kind of an interesting way to take it in, because then he's kind of watching all the different channels as well, so I don't have to flip through and see all the things. And he's also watching clips that are posted on Twitter and things that are trending, so it's more, I don't know, honestly it's probably more on the pulse than anything on network TV, just because it's combining network TV with Twitter and social media and what other people are saying, and like people in those states on the ground, like doing viral reporting and things like that too, just consuming all of that as opposed to just watching a single network. So that's been a lot more fascinating. So yeah, there's my stumping for internet things as opposed to like traditional entertainment.
Can I ask a super old man question before you go, Chad? Casey,
Yeah, go ahead.
what device do you use to watch all of these apps? I'm guessing YouTube and Twitch. Okay. Laptop
just on my
or
computer.
Okay.
So I work at home, so I'm always at home on computer. I'm like literally on a computer most of my day, and I've got 3 monitors in front of me at any given time. So one of them I generally have either podcasts I'm listening to, or I'll play like YouTube videos in the background as I'm working on things. So I've got a lot of time to kind of stream that stuff.
I use my phone just because my computer's ancient. So I'm like, man, do people use tablets? Or because my Xbox is
Your
good
phone
but
would be
not
fine.
great for
I
that?
mean, it's all
Okay.
on YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, you'd be fine for all that stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I do on
Actually-
my like YouTube and Twitch and all those other kind of streaming stuff. I just do it all on my phone.
And I generally consume more of this guy's content on YouTube. Like, I don't see a lot of it live, but then I'll go watch different chunks that have been edited, not even edited, but like different segments that like people have put together and put online within hours of when he was actually broadcasting. So it's like watching the news on tape delay. And there are occasions in the afternoon I'll just put it on as I'm working as well and just kind of listen in as he's babbling. But this is the dude, Hassan Piker. He live streamed Among Us with AOC and Ilhan Omar a couple weeks back.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
He was one of the
All right.
streamers that was doing that with them. So
Right
he's
on.
like he's a crazy. He calls himself a lefty, I guess. He's more of that side of the aisle. So
Sweet.
Casey, your answer was a lot cooler than I was thinking. Your build up in the beginning, it led me to believe like you're gonna be like, I don't really watch TV. I've been like using my telescope to watch other people's TVs, and whatever they're watching is like, I'm like, where's Casey
just
going
let
with
the
this?
universe decide.
Right, that's right.
Voyeurism of it.
Oh my god, that's where I thought you were gonna go with this. I'm like, I'm so intrigued. I mean, very great answer, but
Yeah, I'm just anti like cable TV, and I hate commercials. So any way I can get around ads and commercials is so I consume a lot of YouTube content because I have a good ad blocker and I don't have to watch that many ads on YouTube. And then on Twitch, the dude that live streams, he does an ad at the top of the hour every hour is his shtick. So literally he does a 1-minute ad at the top of the hour, and if you're not even watching, then you don't have to see the ads. So I hate ads.
Yeah, so do I.
Makes
I'm-
being a sports fan really difficult because that's when I see the most ads.
Oh, I know. That's same here. Like, I watch TV, but like if it's any like programs or anything, it's on TV. I just record it and skip the.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
But right now, like so much of it too is just like after like once it starts airing, like it's on demand too. So don't really have to deal with a lot of advertisements, except for the sports. You get killed.
Sports is the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like that's when I see all the truck ads.
Yes,
Like,
so many truck
it's
ads.
like, oh, I
Who's
haven't
buying
seen
that many trucks?
I haven't seen truck ads for 8 months.
How many people have to haul that much shit?
Yeah.
And drinking their Bud Light
They
while they're
don't.
driving them. My
I
goodness.
know. It's nefarious. It's QAnon. Yeah, I've been, well, of course, like Mando's been dropping, so I can't wait for that just because I know that I'll somehow see a spoiler from, I don't know. Usually in everything that usually pops up in my feed on YouTube, it's something like Star Wars related, so I know that I'll get spoiled of whatever is popping on that show. So I'll kind of Game of Thrones it, where when I watch like the new episode, I'll watch like the previous week's episode too, like running into it to kind of really geek out. So, but really impressed with the season so far. They kind of keeping some of the pacing that the first season ended, I think. Even though like the second episode of the season maybe wasn't as strong, there's some really cool like kind of Star Wars moments and some cool things that they've pulled from like old Star Wars like art books and Star Wars lore into it. So yeah, that's been really good so far. Then also I discovered this show on HBO. There's only 2 episodes that have aired. It's kind of like a documentary. It's called How To with John Wilson. And it's like the episode we watched, it's like how to make small talk. And it's just guys just randomly traveling and interviewing people. And he seems really like nerdy and maybe oddly introverted, very quiet, very nerdy, but should definitely check that out. It's pretty entertaining. Some of the people that he came across and just the kind of questions that he would ask them. But that was a lot of fun. That's what I've been doing, and that's what we've been doing. Now on to the show. This week's movie is The Big Lebowski, released on March 6, 1998. So, notable films in 1998. Do you have any favorites stand out for you?
Truman Show, I think, was pretty good.
Truman Show. I was just looking through the list here and I saw Happiness, which I feel like, late 90s, early 2000s was always a good time for really fucked up kind of indie films.
Like SLC Punk.
Yeah, Chris,
Yeah.
SLC Punk.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie. I love Matt Willard. Or Matt Willard.
Matt what?
Matthew
Same,
Lillard.
Matthew Lillard. But you're right, like as far as indie movies, because that's the same year as Pie, so that's the first like Darren Aronofsky film.
Oh,
we're
man.
witness
Oh,
to.
yes.
What a brain
So
F.
good.
I haven't seen that
Totally,
in a long
right?
time.
Is that where he
I should
takes,
watch it again.
He gives himself a
Yeah,
lobotomy with the drill?
literally a brain F, yeah. Wow.
Oh man, Basketball came out that year.
Oh,
was
what
gonna
a
I love
great
that movie.
movie.
So
no
good.
way. I
Oh,
actually
it's
tried
so
to
good.
watch that. No way.
And Rounders.
I have to
Oh, I would
agree
love
to
it still.
disagree.
I love
No.
it still.
I
just
just
tried
watched it like
watching
a
it.
couple days ago.
Yeah,
You
so
did
did
watch it a
I.
couple days ago?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
brother had never seen it. We watched it together.
And did you
Dude.
both laugh?
I
So
loved
dumb.
it. I laughed. I laughed
Oh.
so much.
No. I'm
Dude,
sorry.
of course it's dumb. It's the dumbest thing ever, but it's so deliciously dumb.
And Chad, thank you so much for just continuing to own that. He loves everything this host
I
hates.
hate
Just,
everything you
I'm
like.
so
or-
glad
Yeah.
that came to fruition.
You like everything that I hate.
Yeah.
A couple honorable mentions for '98. So Rounders, Ronin,
Yep.
The Negotiator.
Ooh, Half Baked. It's a 98.
Chad, thoughts before Chris answers?
I'm gonna say I like that one more than Basketball.
What?
Yeah, that one actually is funny. Run
So
Lola
I-
Run come out this year. Okay, what are you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I only bring up Half Baked because I happened to watch on Netflix the like Dave Chappelle. Oh, what was it? He got some award or whatever. So it was like a long show, kind of. Oh man, I'll have to look that up. What it was, but he got like the Mark Twain Award. It's like the Mark Twain Award ceremony. It's on Netflix. So if you like Dave Chappelle, it was super good. But the
Oh
dude,
yeah, I saw that.
his like producer buddy or whoever who wrote Half Baked with him did like a mini set or whatever during it and was talking about Half Baked. So made me think of that.
It might be worth mentioning too that Rushmore and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels both came out in '98.
Oh, what a good
I was
year!
just gonna say, yeah, it was a pretty good year. And the Blues Brothers
The-
2000, which
no, stop,
influenced
stop,
you.
There it
Wait,
is.
stop,
that was the
gross.
movie that actually got you into the Blues Brothers, right?
No. I mistakenly watched that movie as a child. It was actually Stephen Crank that got me into Blues Brothers. One of his favorite films
Okay.
ever. Yeah.
Okay.
However, it
What-
was Snake Guys that got him into Nick Cage.
Well, duh. Wedding Singer in '98. I mean, come on, that's a classic Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Dead Man on
Yeah, I don't
Campus.
hate
Man,
it.
this is a good comedy. year.
Man in the
Yeah.
Iron Mask. If you're a Leo fan,
Heck yeah.
does
were
that
you
movie
guys,
hold up? The Man in the Iron Mask. What a weird film.
I've never
Like he
seen
had
that
to just
one.
literally. You never saw that? I saw that when I was in like.
Yeah, it's based on that book by Alexander Dumbass.
What? Oh, Dumas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but literally, just the part of the movie, Leo is just in a iron mask. It's very literal. The name of the film.
Here's a-
Disturbing behavior. So good.
Is A Night at the Roxbury funny for the whole movie? Because like I feel like that's just the right amount of funny for the length of an SNL sketch. Does it hold up for the movie?
No.
I didn't
That's
Chris.
too
know
bad.
Doug Butabi.
Yes, it does. It holds
Decide.
up the entire film.
No,
Still
Chris
find
and I
it
used
funny.
to do that stupid Night at the Roxbury dance all the time.
Well, we used to do like the little saying that Doug Butabi, Steve Butabi,
Butabi.
brothers. No. Yes, man.
Oh, it was too good. So yeah,
Alright.
what did you? Chris, does that movie hold up?
I don't know. I would doubt it. I've really got no interest in seeing that movie again.
We could. We should. Chad, you've mentioned we should do like everyone get online and record as we watch a movie at the same time. We should do
Yeah.
a bad movie like that and see if it holds up.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, for real. We can do that.
Two guilty pleasures for me that year: Armageddon and The Mask of Zorro.
Oh, I like Mask of Zorro.
This is There's Something About Mary year. That was a good comedy.
Armageddon, fun fact, written by J.J. Abrams.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna shock you again, James. Never seen that one.
The thing is, it's not shocking anymore.
I did see Saving Private Ryan this year.
Well, that's good.
I saw a lot of these. So I was just looking at the top 10 highest grossing films in '98. I'm gonna start from the top, go to 10. So you have Armageddon's number 1, Saving Private Ryan, Godzilla. Damn, that was a disappointing movie.
Yeah.
There's Something About Mary, A Bug's Life, Deep Impact, Mulan, Dr. Dolittle, Shakespeare in Love, and Lethal Weapon 4.
Yo, American History X too. This is
So
a good
good.
year.
Yeah, it's a good movie year. Late
The
90s,
Water
man.
Boy, super Adam Sandler year.
Zabby Dooby.
Waterboy and Happy Gilmore in the same year. That's nuts.
No way, really?
I think
No,
so.
that cannot be right.
I'm here at
I
Waterboy.
thought it was
and I swear I saw
96.
Happy Gilmore up there.
I thought Happy Gilmore was like 95, 96. Google's year.
Oh, sorry, The Wedding Singer.
Oh, there
Wedding
we go.
Singer and Waterboy same year.
Oh,
Both
cool. Say,
W films.
That sounds right, though.
Yeah.
James,
yeah.
what was? Let's talk about Oscars.
Oscars. So, oddly enough, Lebowski, not up for a thing. I thought it might be up for, like, original screenplay.
Dude.
I know, right? So, Best Picture that year was, nominations were A Thin Red Line, Saving Private Ryan, Life is Beautiful, Elizabeth,
Beautiful
and
movie.
Shakespeare
Life
in
is
Love.
Beautiful. That is a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
So, that was the Shakespeare in Love year where that won.
Terrible.
Wow.
And then, so I was checking. Sorry, original screenplay that year. So, Bulworth. Did anybody ever see that?
No, I've heard that.
No.
I need to see that.
Saving Private Ryan, The Truman Show, Life is Beautiful, and Shakespeare in Love. And Shakespeare in Love was the winner for original screenplay. And then I was looking at, what was the last one? Adapted screenplay. Gods and Monsters, Primary Colors, with John Travolta as Clinton. Basically as Clinton. Sorry, A Simple Plan, Out of Sight, and A Thin Red Line. Gods and Monsters won that year. I never saw that either.
I had an English teacher that tried to show Shakespeare in Love, but there's nudity, so she had to like time exactly
Like
when to
everything?
like pause it. Yeah, it
I
was
think we had the same
kind of
deal.
embarrassing. Yeah. And I don't
Yeah.
was it that good to like be played in a classroom to teach me something?
It's
Was
one of
it
those things where
educational?
I mean, I don't think I remember that movie very well because, like, that's one of those movies I think it was Best Picture. I think I bought it at Blockbuster on VHS for like $2.99 in its used bin. After that, I don't know if I ever watched it after that.
Yeah, I can't tell you anything about it.
I was gonna say now Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, I've watched like 50 times, but
Saving Ryan's
Same.
Privates.
oh, so good. Shaving Ryan's Privates.
Oh, Shakespeare in Love was fine. I remember watching it too, thinking like, this is gonna suck. I can't believe this won Best Picture, and I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was the best movie of the year, but it taught me that like Ray Fiennes has a brother, so that was fun to find out.
Stop me if I'm wrong, Jamie. Doesn't Ben Affleck make a cameo in that movie?
Does he?
Oh my god, I gotta look it
You're
up.
probably
I
right. I
feel
mean,
like
it
he
was
shows up in-
1998.
It's just like that was just like.
God, it's been a while since I've seen that too.
He was trying to show Matt Damon like, you said yes to Rounders and didn't
Matt
invite me. I'll show
Damon.
you. I'm gonna do Best Picture.
Yeah, I'd be pretty mad about that too. Rounders are sweet.
It's all right. Hey, Chris, let's go into box office. How much did this movie cost and what did it do?
So this movie had a budget of $15 million. The box office, it ended up making $46.7 million. Was released March 6th of 1998. We'll take a look here at our Rotten Tomatoes ratings and reviews. So Rotten Tomatoes gave it a critic rating of 83% and an audience score of 93%. IMDb gave it an 8.1, and Metacritic gave it a 71%. Just out of curiosity, what do people think? Do people trust Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic more?
I don't look at any of this garbage.
Yeah, me
No.
either.
It's this is how I look at it. I always like Rotten Tomatoes. I always like seeing the difference between the critic score and the audience score. Right? So like say this film, it didn't do very well in the theaters, right? But this movie has a cult following. So you kind of see, I mean, I guess 83 is okay for critic score.
I mean,
But
yeah, there's a
that
10.
93 audience score, like obviously, like, you know, movie has a better following. Like I just like seeing like the difference between the critic and viewers because I'm kind of like anti-critic. I'm always like fuck the critics, but yeah, I just think this is nice just to kind of see like the range of where all these different scores fall in than like the Metacritic score, which you've said, Chris, is that's always kind of falls to where your opinion of the film usually lies. So I like when we get to that point of sharing your thoughts on the film, be interested to see where that falls for you.
I don't read any of that garbage or like look at the scores. I really don't, but I gotta be honest, if I'm walking past the new releases at like the store and I see something on Rotten Tomatoes is like 100% fresh, like I see that sticker, that does make me stop to take a look and see what they're saying is like in their opinion, a really good movie. Like I think I bought Get Out based on, I think it was 100% fresh. And
that's deserved of that 100% fresh.
I'm so glad you brought that movie up. That's like emblematic of where Rotten Tomatoes can go wrong because I think it was 100% fresh for weeks. And then there was like one or two critics that knocked it down to like 97 or 93. And with certain movies, I'm like, all right, you can disagree. But that one was so original. We'd literally never seen it before. It's like, you're just trying to mess with the algorithm, man. Like it was so clear. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, it's rare you get something that is that original and as well done as that, because everything now is a remake or a rehash or a redo of something.
That's what I feel like in the movies, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head of movies I've purchased based on like that sticker being on the emblem, and I'm pretty sure I think I saw this one in theater though, but Mud with Matthew McConaughey had it, and I love that movie.
Oh, James,
Shelter.
I watched that on your recommendation years ago
Oh, thanks,
in the
man.
stores. Yeah, it was a great movie. Sorry,
I was
carry
gonna
on.
say Take Shelter was another 100% fresh one, I believe, and I think that's the same director as Mud. It's got Jessica Chastain and Michael Shannon in it, about like the end of the world, which I really enjoy. Again, I think it was just kind of a cool concept. But anyways, I just feel like more often than not, I have not been misled by the 100% fresh. But then again, I guess there are probably several movies out there that I haven't purchased in that sense. All right, let's talk costume design about this movie then.
Yeah, costumes.
No, you say that, but I'm literally like Googling the dude's sweater because I would totally buy it. But dang, it's like a couple $100.
Well, yeah, it's probably still...
It's like
you
an
said,
original
yeah.
thing.
It's that cult following, man.
Pendleton original Westerly sweater. No, it was like a real nice sweater before the movie.
Oh, Pendletons are nice though, dude.
Yeah.
It was the nicest thing that Jeff owned.
Man.
Yeah.
Except for that rug. That's why he was so upset.
Trying to find me a knockoff, man. I ain't spending $300 on a sweater.
Man.
Dude.
Come on, dude. Come on,
dude,
man.
All
Actually,
right.
I do appreciate they says man and not bro a lot.
This is before bro.
This is true.
Yeah. This is like where dude. I have a friend, well, back in the day, like he just would say dude a lot. So we'd like, oh no, he's like gonna bust out the dude gun. So we'd be like, dude. He'd be like, what, dude? Dude, man. This other guy that we knew that said dude a lot, we called him Dude Man.
That was back in your
Dude,
peyote
man.
days, right?
The what?
Back in your peyote days?
It's like the LSD.
Yes.
Yeah. Psilocybin days.
You said words I don't even understand. I'll stop talking.
Just Google Oregon. It's now legal in Oregon. Psilocybin. For
Oh, it is? Yeah, I thought I
they-
saw that.
they
medicinal.
legalize it for
Like treatment,
treatment.
right?
Yeah.
For PTSD and
Yeah.
bipolar or something.
Yeah, and if you listen to Joe Rogan, I feel like every one of Joe Rogan's podcasts, he's always like, "So, what do you think about psilocybin?"
Yeah, you want microdose right now?
Yeah. All right, so I'm assuming from the top of this that we've all seen this movie before watching this, and thank you, Jamie. This is actually perfect timing to watch a movie like this for me. This movie for me is like a warm blanket on a cold and wet wind.
Oh my God.
Cold and wet.
A warm blanket on a cold night. So
I'm happy I got you wet.
I'm gross. I'm cut. That needs to be deleted.
Leave it.
But yeah, let's get into thoughts on this film. Let's start with who wants to go first?
I'll go first because I think a lot more people here have more things to say. I enjoy this movie. I just didn't. As I was watching it, I was like, God, this is just an enjoyable movie. Like, I mean, Chad, kind of to your point of like the warm blanket scenario. I'm like, yeah, this is just a comfortable, fun movie that I can watch and no big deal. Like, I really enjoy the mini dream sequences. I think those are just my favorite part, like the choreographed dream sequences in the movie.
Do you have a favorite one of your dream sequences?
If
you had to pick a favorite.
Is it the second one where he's like walking down the stairs and doing like the Charleston kind of like where he's walking
It's after getting drugged at the porn guy's house.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny
It's the,
Rogers.
like, porn dream.
I just walked in to see what condition my condition was
Yeah.
in.
That one. That one's probably my favorite. But Chad, I think you made a comment or messaged it earlier this week, and I was thinking the same thing. Was they were crushing soundtracks in late 90s
so
movies.
good.
Yeah.
Like this movie almost has just because if it was like cut together differently, it almost has a Tarantino feel, like of the randomness.
Yep.
In the soundtrack in that sense. Just not as rapey probably. But well, I don't know. Mod kind of did take advantage. So no,
Take me.
See, now that makes me think of Wayne's World 2. Why? You need a coat and I'm low on gas. For where? So No, I just this movie's just really enjoyable. I think it's like I said with the Tarantino-ness of it, like where it's like great cast, I think great writing, just fun little different storylines going on, and just very visually awesome. Otherwise, the uh, Walter, I think, is just like their dynamic. The dude and Walter's dynamic throughout the whole thing is just so funny to me. Like even when he's like they're getting rid of Donnie's ashes and it spills all. Oh, sorry, dude. Like it's like just I don't know. Just like there's like several different little scenes in there. Like where that one's actually a bigger one where like most people would laugh, but like the interactions between everybody is just so funny to me.
Yeah,
So.
the chemistry between Goodman and Bridges is so good.
Yeah,
Like
very much so.
just like their lines, like you like watch it and it's like you just feel like they are just so into those characters. Like you can't, I don't know.
At times, it almost feels like Walter is the antagonist of this film. I found myself like being angry at Walter more often than anything.
Oh, for sure. That's why I was gonna say I'm more excited to hear you guys kind of talk about it, because I think in this there's like several pieces I'm like maybe not reading too much into, and I should be reading more into. Like it's like Donnie, like when he bowls and he misses one pin and he looks at it all awkward, like, huh, that's weird. I'm like, there's something going on here where I'm not fully getting it. So I just love to hear you guys' take on everything. And also, I forgot Philip Seymour Hoffman was in here in this movie.
Yeah, so did I when I first started watching this. So rest in peace.
All right, what did anybody else think?
Anybody else? Anybody else? So plot. Hey Chris, talk to me about the plot. How did you feel about the plot of this film?
Yeah, I mean, I like this film. I struggle with the Coen brothers. I think like their movies tend to be hit or miss for me. I think they are either like really, really high or I just don't get them. Lebowski is a movie that I've always really, really liked. I just think I think it's really relatable. I think it's super funny. I think it's really well written. I know I really enjoy these kind of movies as well. It reminds me a little bit like, I guess like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and like Shane Black, where you have like, this individual that you don't really think a lot of, and they end up like kind of stumbling into something bigger than themselves, and then you kind of slowly, peel away the layers of the onion, and then what you realize is what you initially thought is not anywhere close to what it is. So I really enjoy that. I like watching the movie play out. As far as a plot goes, I think it's really unique, really interesting. I think they bring in a ton of different characters. I think they bring a lot of mystery into the fray as well, of like trying to figure out who's at the core of this and what's going on. And I think they end up generally tending to, I don't know, to just fumble through it. So yeah, I really like this movie. I think it's great. I think the plot's really fun. I think it's a good movie.
Can I go back? One of the first things you said was, I find this movie relatable. Like, did Lenny burn your car?
Did Lenny burn my car?
Did
No.
Lenny like blow up your car or something?
No, I just think relatable in the sense of, I think everybody has that friend that probably smokes too much pot, or everybody has like knows that guy that just tends to.
What are you trying to say, Chris?
Oh, that's absolutely you, Casey, in my life. Or like, I guess, I don't know. I go back to a movie like Interstellar, where I feel like there's a need to have some precursory understanding. And I would argue that Interstellar is probably not nearly as relatable as The Big Lebowski would be. I think it's an easier film to watch and to follow and to understand. So maybe relatable is not the correct term to use there, but I just think that it's easy for anybody to hop into this movie and be able to follow what's going on, without having,
Yeah, I kind of think for me, as I noticed while watching this, I watched it a couple of times. I just found myself not really caring about the plot. I was just so interested in just hearing like the kind of the back and forth dialogue between the characters, and even if I was like just had it on in the background listening to like all the quips, and I don't know, I just totally find that like the most entertaining part is like the plot doesn't really matter that much to me in this film, even though it's like pulling everything, but just like the characters are so awesome. But anyone else? Speaking of like, you know, like you say, it's well written, Chris. Does anybody feel like a lot of this film was improv? Like if you think about the like the scenes in the bowling alley, just how they're dropping some of those lines, it kind of feels like it's improv. Did any of you guys get like that feel? Like maybe they were just kind of making this stuff up on the spot?
It feels very fluid, but I don't know. I feel like with the Coen brothers, I have to think that they wrote almost every single one of those lines.
Yes, you are correct.
It feels like they're very
James.
detailed. Am I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it feels like they're very detail oriented, where if even the actors messed up how the delivery was supposed to be, like hold on, I got that wrong. Let me do it again, and like they missed a line or they missed a word, something like that. So
I think one of the first bowling scenes, especially, it was so to the beat. It was almost like a hip hop song where they were like line, and then it was a shut the fuck up, Donnie. Line, you're out of your element, Donnie. It was just such a perfect like back and forth, because every time Donnie would chime in, it was just it was like brilliant. That's such a wonderful scene.
Yeah, and it's so quotable, which I think, you know, I guess improvised movies can be quotable too, but there's lines like, I mean, say what you want about the tenets of National Socialism, dude. At least it's an ethos. Like, that's just not improvised. You know?
It's so good.
It's so good.
I like. I was thinking every single time something happened to his car, and then finally when they did blow it up, and like, well, there you go, they finally did it. But so many different things happened to his car throughout that movie. I just think the car gets like a best supporting nod.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll jump in.
Yeah.
Along with just the writing, I think, and we might get to this later, but this was a movie I saw once. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It just kind of went past me, and I was like, oh, that was weird. And then something compelled me to watch it again, and I was like, okay, I get it. You know, I'm in this world, and I think it's an incredible LA movie, which I don't necessarily go for. I mean, Hollywood loves that shit because it's their backyard. Me, I could kind of care less, but I think it just kind of becomes such a character in this movie, you know, with the Hotel California playing Eagles in the cab, and all the goofy characters like Jackie Treehorn. That's such an LA character that, I don't know, it really works.
Such a great name too.
Jackie Treehorn.
I love that name.
Log jamming.
Was anybody else, I guess, out of all the casting, like when you see Tara Reid, you're like, okay, well, I get why she plays the bunny role. Like, it's not super important, doesn't need to be super intelligent. But like, I always just in my head think, man, why isn't there like an Oscar winner or nominee being like that role? Like, not Tara Reid. I feel like she's out of place. I don't know. I guess
she's typecast perfectly in there.
Yeah, I mean that's probably
sure.
That's probably why she got like Van Wilder as well, same character.
Yeah, played herself, or the same
wasn't...
character.
Yeah, but she crushed it in Van Wilder.
Yeah, that's because she had fucking Ryan Reynolds. I mean, come on, he carries every movie.
God, when was the last time you watched Van Wilder?
Last night.
No, I mean a long time ago.
No, that was the sequel, like Rise of Taj.
Ugh.
Well, speaking, Jamie, you were saying that you saw this in the theater, but remembered not liking it the first time you saw it.
Not the theater. I think I rented it.
Rented it? Oh.
Yeah, I would have been a little too young. But yeah, I think I like rented it from the library or something. I'd heard it was good and was kind of getting into the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't get it. It's like, huh, that was weird. Like some of it was funny, but it's like I wonder what that movie was about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, has anyone else had like a movie where they saw it in the theater and they're just like kind of like didn't like it, but as time went on, you watched it again and like you totally like changed your tune and like it became like one of your favorite movies?
No, no, I can't say that's happened.
I
I
mean,
was
like
I
I
really
can
have to
see
think
No.
about it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can see where Jamie is coming from with this movie. I think like
Yeah.
the first time I watched it, I was a little bit thrown off by like, I mean, again, some of those like dream sequences and things like that. I think it's a really unique watch, especially like if you're relatively younger. When you watch it, and maybe you haven't experienced a ton of movies like that maybe tend to be a little bit more unique or, um, I mean, yeah, I think it's a really really interesting watch if you've not seen a lot of movies like this or like are not familiar with the directors or the writers of this
Mhm.
kind of film. So I remember thinking that this was kind of a strange movie the first time I saw it and wasn't in love with it. But I think, the more that I've watched it, the more that I've really grown to really enjoy what this movie is. And you find little different like nuggets that you don't see each and every time. So yeah, I can see where Jamie's coming from.
Well, and I find too that this happens a lot to me with just the Coens. This happened with No Country for Old Men. I I saw it in the theater. It's just a bummer of a movie, and you get to the end and he walks away from the car crash and you're like, "What the hell?" What am I supposed to take away from this? And then the more I see it, it is one of the darkest, most haunting, but it's might be my number one film of all time. I love that movie so much.
Hey,
So,
friendo.
hey, friendo. So yeah, I guess for me, actually, the Coens, they do it a lot to me. If I don't like a Coen movie, the first watch, I always have to watch it 2 or 3 more times.
All right. Jamie, too, you're saying about like this being like a film like takes place in LA. Made me think of like the coffee shop scene. Um, if
Oh
that
yeah, about the
scene
toe
seemed, what's that?
with the toe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So if that place seemed familiar, it's actually because that coffee shop is a famous location in Los Angeles where it's not actually a real coffee shop. It's just like reserved for films or like I think somebody like shot like a music video in there too. I can't remember the name of the artist, but yeah, it's not a real coffee shop. It's just reserved for movie shoots. Like it was in Reservoir Dogs, American History X. I mean, a ton of films. So it's a little fun fact for you all in there.
So this movie totally turned me on to White Russians. Such a delicious drink.
Yeah.
It's my go-to drink in Vegas, just because you can just put them down so quick. But it was actually pretty dangerous last time.
Because of COVID?
No, just no.
Just
They get you a little quick. You drink them, you don't realize that you're putting them down because they go down so smooth. Delicious.
Can you walk us through the ingredients, Casey, of a White Russian, a proper?
Yeah, White
one?
Russian is vodka, Kahlua, and some cream of some kind or milk. It's
The
that
Kahlua.
easy.
All right.
Kahlua is really the big deal, and that's why they're called White Russians, because you put vodka in them.
Makes sense.
All right. Let's talk about characters. Casey, if you had to pick, who would be your favorite character in this film?
Oh, I mean, like clearly the dude is my spirit animal. I love everything he stands for. Just kind of just meandering through life and just super pacifist, like just letting people do what they want to do as long as he's living his life and is happy. Part of me like envies that. Obviously I can't live like that. I've got a family, a job, and but man, it would be kind of nice to just be a bum and not have to have any concerns. I don't know. It's nice. It's a nice fantasy. So the dude's kind of like my spirit animal in that regard. I like I was saying before, it almost feels like like the actual antagonist of this is Walter. He's just kind of the reason for all of the problems and issues that arise. All the conflict of this film really is his fault. I guess other than him being
or the guy that pees on the rug.
beginning. Yeah, that's the. I mean, I guess that begins everything. But like, from there on, like every decision or everything that happens or every branch that happens after that, it's usually Walter having handed it and making it worse.
Yes, I have to agree. Walter, you're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
Yeah, but then he kind of redeems himself in the very end because he helps like defend them from the nihilists or whatever.
Yeah.
But then Donnie dies and it's so sad. Poor Donnie's just like the nicest like dude that gets shit on the whole movie and then dies.
Yep.
What a tragic character.
Didn't like seeing Donnie go.
Exactly. And I gotta say, that's probably the most normal that Steve Buscemi has looked. Like, you can't even, if you don't look close enough, it doesn't really look like Steve Buscemi. He looks like a normal person.
Time.
I mean,
time
Steve
cures
Buscemi
all
is just
things.
so,
Right.
yeah, he's just so
Crazy eyes.
recognizable. Exactly.
I was gonna say that wizard was casting a spell on me, or maybe he was just waving.
No, but yeah, I think ultimately it's a great web of stories. I like it.
Yeah. Anyone else want to talk about favorite
Within
characters?
the three nihilists, did anybody realize that?
Flea?
Yeah, Flea.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did anybody recognize Flea in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nihilist, yeah.
That's another LA credit right there.
Yeah.
Chili Peppers.
Say, or how about the doctor? If anybody watched How I Met Your Mother, it's Ranjit, the cab driver in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, really? I missed
I
that.
think Chris is the only one maybe that can help me with that.
Yeah, no, I also missed that.
I was
did
like,
not
I recognized
recognize
him. Well, I looked at him and I'm like, he looks familiar. And like in my head, I was like, is that Pagoda from Tenenbaums? And then no, it was a different guy, but I still recognize him for a different reason. For me, I think John Turturro's character, like, don't fuck with the Jesus. Like his just, I don't know, his just character in general. Like I feel like I don't know if that was Coen Brothers writing in like this is how I need you to be, or if he's like let me take the bull by the horns here and make his own character up and just follow the lines. But I like his small part I think is just a lot of fun. And then
what's he say? He's
had
like,
anybody
I'm gonna
seen
stick that
the
gun so
Jesus
far.
sequel?
Oh, the Jesus rolls. Is that what it was called?
Yeah. That's what it was called, and so I looked that up because I couldn't remember if that was a Coen Brothers movie, or if it had been out yet, and it apparently came out in
Turturro wrote it?
2019. Must not have did great. Turturro wrote it and directed it.
Yeah. Did it? I thought it came out this year. It was
So, I
supposed
don't
to
know.
come out last year. It was like a limited release, maybe in 2019. I remember hearing about it and it not being very good.
Maybe it never came out. I thought it just said like I just on IMDb it said 2019, so I was like, holy crap, this thing's out, and so I never even seen it, but I think it's available to rent on like I don't know, like HBO Max or something. I'll look it up.
Cool.
Jesus Rolls. Yep. You can find it on, or it's like on Showtime. Yeah, it's on Showtime, I guess, right now. We can rent or buy it. We can rent it on Amazon for $2.99. So yeah, so it's available.
You don't fuck with the Jesus. So did you guys know that
I
there
just thought his
is
character was fun.
that there is a religion based around this film?
I know
Dude-
that there's a really big
Dudism.
Casey.
You know, we don't talk about these things publicly, the dudes. We all abide.
You know, Dudism is a religion
Like,
or a lifestyle inspired by the dude. Dudism's stated primary objective is to promote a modern form of Chinese Taoism, outlined in the Tao Te Ching, written by Lao Tzu. So if you're familiar with the Tao,
Dude, I'm in.
like, dude, man.
so my thought process here is like we take lots of baths, smoke a lot of pot. Like, I don't know.
What?
Try not to have a care in the world, I guess. That's what the dude does.
Yeah. And drink your White Russians, right?
Caucasians.
Caucasians. All right.
Isn't that what he calls them in the movie?
Yeah.
That is an alternate name for a White Russian. Actually, I think they are slightly different, but maybe not.
Is it made with? I don't know. I don't know mixed drinks.
Maybe a Caucasian is just Kahlua and milk, or Kahlua and cream. Maybe not.
All right.
Except that maybe the Russian is the vodka.
That would make sense, yeah. I like the dots that you're connecting there, Casey.
I mean, that's just like my opinion, man.
I love that part. So did you know the F-bomb is dropped 292 times in this movie?
Yes, Sam Elliott tells him he shouldn't swear as much.
That's right. Dude is dropped 160 times. Man, 141 times. Drinks 9 White Russians. Says tied the room together 5 times. And there's 17 references to the rug being pissed
on. So I'm going through the quotes on IMDb. Speaking of dropping the F-bomb, I know that this has been on cable edited, but so one of the quotes from Walter, it's when he's smashing the car and he's screaming, "This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass." I guess in the censored version, it's censored to say, "This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps."
Yeah.
I don't know. That just cracks me up. I had to share that. I have to watch it on cable now to confirm if that's real. That's all I got.
Yeah, talking about favorite characters though. I think I was just talking with you the other day about this, Jamie. But yeah, like I gotta say the Dude, but sometimes I kind of fall back on Walter. But maybe it's just more like the duo between those two characters. But yeah, I definitely like the Dude. The Dude is like the person I would love to play like hacky sack with, you know. Then like go smoke a J.
I agree.
Go watch old Godzilla movies.
Well, I start this movie every time thinking it's the Dude, and then Walter just steals it for me every time. His lines they just kill me. It's like when they're talking about him being Jewish. 3,000 years of beautiful tradition from Moses to Sandy Koufax. You're goddamn right I'm living in the fucking past. I'm just like dead.
I'd agree with y'all. I think Walter, I don't know. I really love Walter's character, and I love how he brings everything back to the Vietnam War. Like
he's asking like a kid.
There's no clear correlation yet. In his mind, there is. Like, I don't know, his character's, I think, the most enjoyable. He's super funny. He's really, I don't know, intense. It's a fun character.
Yeah, he's like oddly like down to earth, but then like out of control and a loose cannon at the same time. So does anyone think that Walter is a grown up Teddy Duchamp from Stand By Me?
That's a great comparison. I didn't think of that until right now.
Gonna be a world of pain. Cool. All right, so I had some other questions you had down here, Jamie. You put who is Sam Elliott's character? Do you want to expound on that?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't have anything more to add than that. He's this narrator who kind of comes into the story, and you know, in any other movie that probably wouldn't work, but given all the dream sequences we've hit on and you know everything else, it feels like a fairy tale anyway. So
yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, I didn't have anything more than that. Just he's listed as the stranger in the credits, so I didn't know if that meant anything to anybody. Does anybody have a theory?
Casey, what did you Google before this?
Not enough, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, there is a rabbit hole. I didn't do this. I caught this listening to an interview with Buscemi, Bridges, and Goodman. It was like coming back. It was like the 20-year anniversary of the film, and I picked up some things. I was like, oh yeah, I remember like conversations of that. So like the theory that Donnie is a figment of Walter's imagination. because there isn't like no one really like recognizes Donnie except for Walter. Except I think there's one scene where like the dude like yells at Donnie something about getting the phone or something like that. But and then there's the September 11 conspiracy, which
Your
is
favorite.
perfect for our times, right? Where it's like the very beginning of the movie when he's in the store, then he goes and he's writing the check. There's like that clip of George Bush the first about saying like this act of aggression will not stand. Then the date on the check is September 11th, 1991. And like the conspiracy theory is like, oh, it's George Bush 1. Then 10 years later, George Bush 2. September 11th, 2001. That's a conspiracy.
So wait,
Pretty lame.
Jeff Bridges is responsible for 9/11? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Because
I guess I get it. I don't know if I can stand behind it.
hey, if you're down with conspiracy theories and you think Democrats are pedophiles and they kidnap children and they drink their blood in satanic rituals, yeah, I mean,
Wait,
that
you
seems
guys don't
pretty
do that
tame.
on the weekends?
Huh?
It's not your idea of a normal Saturday?
I mean, maybe on a Tuesday.
Can we
you
talk about this before I voted?
Yeah.
That-
Jeff
you didn't
Bridges melts steel beams. Everybody knows that.
Duh.
Why was it called the Big Lebowski? Because Jeff
He said
refers
it.
to the Big Lebowski in the movie.
Because he's the bigger
what?
guy.
Because he's the fat guy.
The Big Lebowski.
The big Lebowski.
No, I know, 'cause-
the dad.
Yeah, so
I
why
mean,
is the movie called the?
Because it's like the existential Big Lebowski. Lebowski himself being the main character. So it's a wordplay.
What do you mean? Like
Oh.
you're not talking about the dude, are you?
Yeah, the dude.
No.
It's about him. It's about his epic. It's
No.
the Big Lebowski. So it's almost turning a phrase he says in the movie, referring to the bigger fat Lebowski, into almost a verb or a title of this epic. It was the Big Lebowski.
Like
thought it was
Goodwill Hunting.
I thought I was referencing the like the the old Lebowski.
Yeah, I mean that's when he says it. That's what he's implying. But because it's the title of the film and he's the titular character, one could say that it's I don't know, it's transcended to being the name of the epic itself.
Right.
Like it is the Big Lebowski. That's the story. The story, the journey he went on was the Big Lebowski.
Right. So like the whole everything that happens, that's a Lebowski.
In the UK, this movie is called The Differently Abled Lebowski.
Seriously? Is it seriously? Because then everything I just said in the last 3 minutes, it's bullshit. It's really just the title. It's
Yeah.
about the big guy.
Yeah, it's absolutely not titled that in the UK.
Oh, I was
bummer.
like, Chris, come on, please get back to us on this.
That's awesome.
And how come in the poster or like during his dream sequence, he's got like a power drill, like a gun at holster?
I think that was a
What's that all
play
about?
on like because that whole scene was kind of was
It's
set up
supposed
kind
to
of
be
like,
like a
porno.
porn fantasy.
Yeah. So he's like the repair guy because that's what the dude is wearing in the log jamming Jackie Treehorn film.
Oh yeah, okay. The Nihilist or whatever. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You can imagine where it goes from there, James.
Did you
'Cause,
guys?
know,
did you
the
guys?
implication?
Did you guys not love the scene of the Nihilist ordering breakfast?
3 pigs in blankets.
Lingonberry pancakes. But then pigs in a blanket.
Exhausted and maybe worn out from the week.
Yeah, dude, this I've mostly I don't have social media, so I've mostly avoided a lot of this, but then the last couple of weeks I've been doing way too much like doom scrolling and hate watching and obsessing over things that what's the purpose? Why waste my energy obsessing over it? There's nothing I can do.
Yeah, that is true.
But I will say not to be too optimistic, it's looking up
Well, like I've
ish.
I've told Angela this. This has been my theory with the president is he's not gone until he's gone. With all
Oh, he's going to start a news network.
this,
That's what he's going to do. He's going to start a news network. 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 He's going
Oh yeah, his own. But
Trump
he's
news.
going to, if he's going to give up, he's
No,
going
he's gonna fire everybody on his way out.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
he's going to start campaigning like the moment that he's out of the White House.
Pull a Grover Cleveland. That was the most depressing thing I heard this week. It's like, oh shit, I forgot about 2024.
Yep. But the dude be like 78, so which is the same age as Joe Biden now. But anywho,
I'm reading some of these taglines for the movie.
yeah.
They figured he was lazy, time-wasting or they figured he was a lazy, time-wasting slacker. They were right. Or her life was in their hands. Now her toe is in the mail. Sorry, I don't know why that one was so funny to me. Times like these call for a Big Lebowski. It takes two guys as simple as the Dude and Walter to make a story this complicated, and they'd really rather be bowling. And then the last one, not a man, a way of life.
That's one thing I miss.
Sorry.
I miss bowling.
Yeah. I know, it definitely made me want to bowl. I like bowling. Is bowling alleys open again?
Well, they are, but the fuck if I'm going bowling. Everyone's getting fucking COVID.
Yeah, dude, it's spiking.
Yeah, like I feel like in the last week and a half, I've known there's too many people that I know, or people I know, families are getting COVID.
Bro, my brother and his family have it. My wife's grandmother and her grandfather both have it. It's everywhere, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like my nephews have it. People I work with, like this woman today, the buyer today, was like, "Yeah, my husband just tested positive for COVID. Now I'm feeling sick. We're all in quarantine for like 2 weeks."
Yep.
Like, fuck that.
Wash your hands.
Yeah. Don't put your hands in your mouth.
Not to like keep talking about the movie, but that was one of the funniest bits, was that he just repeats the things he hears throughout his life. Like he saw the active aggression line on the TV, and then he's using that same word. I think there was a moment that Julianne Moore's character, he like repeated something that she had said. I don't remember what the phrase was, but she used some like intelligent sounding phrase to describe something, and he like parroted that, I think, to Jackie Treehorn or something later. But he just he keeps using, and like, yeah.
Cool. That's like a different kind of insight on the dude, maybe, that I hadn't really thought about before.
He's just kind of floating through the wind, taking on what he gets blown by.
Right, like dust in the wind. All right. Before we go, we want to thank you for downloading this episode of Movie Time Machine. Remember, new episodes drop on Fridays. Please send your questions, comments, and feedback to movietimemachine@gmail.com. And remember, if you send us anything, I am going to watch, was it Happy Gilmore, Casey? If you remember
Yes,
from
sir.
last. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's just see if this ever happens before the end of the year. You can also follow us on Twitter at Movie Machine Pod for all the latest news coming from your Time Machine host and guest. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
See you.
See you guys.
Bye.